everyone. It is Friday, September 24th, 12:26 p.m. I've had an interesting week. Starting last weekend, probably about Friday or so, I began experiencing some COVID symptoms, loss of taste, loss of smell, things like that, which seemed to progress. So by Tuesday, actually by Monday evening, I did not have any taste or smell. So on Tuesday, I went and got tested with a rapid test, and I came back positive for COVID. And the more I think about how the whole thing went down, the more pissed off I am. And I'm going to tell you why. So I go in to the rapid testing urgent care center, pay my $200, get tested, and come back positive. And literally, the only instructions that they gave me were to quarantine for 10 days, stay away from people, wash my hands, and if I couldn't breathe or my fever reached above 102, then to go to the ER. Now, let me explain something to you. If your fever is above 102 and you can't breathe, going to the ER, what are they going to do? There's not much they're going to be able to do except put you on a ventilator. Okay, so I've had nothing to do for the past week. By the way, I healed myself with kitchen herbs. As you can see, I'm fine. Anyway, I'll get into what I did in a minute. This video is probably going to get taken down and banned because Big Pharma can go F themselves, and they control everything, apparently. So, here's what I'm going to say. First, I'll go over my symptoms. Then I'm going to go over what I learned and what I did. And I bounced back. If you want to say Friday was when I started experiencing symptoms, I have now, I would say, am fully recovered. Not even a week later, or about a week later, 7 days later. No thanks to the medical industry, though, who would rather see me die, I guess. And then the hate mail that I'm getting on Facebook that I recently came back on, and I'm documenting my whole COVID journey on Facebook because people really need to understand that this is not the big scary boogeyman that they're making it out to be, and there are things that can be done, reasonable things that you have access to cure yourself from this that does not involve poison injections. Okay, so Fauci, I know, does not make money off of turmeric. So obviously this is never going to be talked about. And what's happening is criminal. All these people that are dying for no reason, somebody needs to go to jail. And the whole medical industry in America is complicit in this. And they should be ashamed of themselves. So, the worst symptom that I had was definitely a headache. So a couple days ago was the height of it. That was the worst. And it literally felt like somebody had maybe like was drilling nails into my head. That's what it felt like. I was in tears. It was so bad. And from my research, what I began to understand is that I probably had some brain inflammation going on for whatever reason. They don't necessarily know why yet. This virus affects the brain and causes inflammation. So what I had done was I started taking turmeric capsules, and almost immediately upon taking these turmeric capsules, the headache went away. Turmeric, for those of you who don't know, is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So I'm assuming that's probably what was happening, and I'm not having any headache symptoms, nothing like that. Obviously, the loss of taste and smell, I still have that, although I was able to smell a little bit earlier, so I think that's coming back as well. And I had a fever, which I want to talk about that because the fact that I didn't get a fever until really almost 5 days in is alarming, which means that my immune system was not detecting this virus. And from doing my research, I have realized that that is one of the key components of this. It evades the immune defenses. It evades immune system surveillance, as they put it. So that definitely was happening with me. But once that fever kicked in and my immune system got going, I also take a bunch of things to support the immune system. It was over almost instantly. It was over pretty much the next day after that fever and after I started taking the turmeric for my head. What else did I do? Immediately upon losing immediately, as soon as I suspected that I might have COVID, I started taking wormwood. Now, the funny part about this is that's not a typical household item, but I had already had capsules on in my house because I had ordered a fasting kit, a Saint Hildegard inspired fasting kit, and I had done a 5-day fast going back a couple weeks now. And so, as part of this fasting kit, it included wormwood capsules. Now, there's 2 types of wormwood, and I'm going to post information down below on which one has been studied and which one hasn't. But the key here that we have to understand is wormwood. The one that I took is the one that's native to Europe. It's called Artemisia absinthe is the Latin. But there's also one that ends with annua, A-N-N-U-A, and that's referred to as sweet wormwood. These are also referred to as mugwort. And what they're known for is treating malaria. And why this is important for our purposes is the same reason why medications, the anti-malaria medications such as ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine are important. And it's because it destroys the protein that the virus needs to replicate. So it doesn't necessarily prevent it from getting into the cell, but it's destroying that protein so that the virus can't replicate. So I started immediately taking a double dose of wormwood, and I'm pretty sure that has made all the difference for me. Also, the turmeric seems to inhibit the binding properties of this virus to binding with your cells. It interrupts it from the receptors. There's something with the receptors that it does. So the turmeric is helping with that. Now, understand these are common households, easily available, especially turmeric. You can buy it at any grocery store. Wormwood is a little bit more difficult, and I prefer honestly the teas and the extracts. So I also have those coming. But I worked with what I had immediately. Started downing those wormwood capsules. And actually, I'm going to go get you what I took so you can see. So this is the wormwood that I took, and I'm still taking. I think it's probably backwards, but it's I don't know how to pronounce it, Artemisia absinthium. And I would not recommend this one, especially for long periods of time, more than a couple weeks, because it is slightly toxic. But the sweet wormwood does not have that toxic property, so I would recommend taking that one instead. Again, I went with what I had, and that's what I had. Praise be Jesus Christ. On top of that, vitamin C with rose hips. This is all immune support, but I want to make something very clear. The immune system initially is not kicking in, so it's even more important that you take something like this in turmeric, which I didn't bring out, but turmeric capsules, you can buy them at any grocery store, that are going to inhibit the binding process. Because the immune system, if it's not recognizing something, as good as it is, it's not going to do anything. So it's imperative that people are taking these things daily to prevent infection, or to prevent the virus from even grasping onto anything. I also take vitamin B complex daily. Zinc, I prefer the liquid. Vitamin D3. And then obviously I already showed my vitamin C. One of the other things I found helpful was St. John's wort tea because of the brain fog. So what was happening with me is I was getting some inflammation in my brain. That, from what I've researched, is the most likely case for that awful headache. And then the brain fog. So what the brain fog was super alarming was it was affecting my mood. It was affecting my cognitive processes. I wasn't multitasking well. I could not do any meditative prayer. I was in like this dark fog, which St. John's wort did lift. So as soon as I could feel that brain fog settling, I would take this. And then, of course, with the turmeric, which is the anti-inflammatory, I was able to only experience a couple days of that, and I know some people have it for longer. And then, of course, prayer. It's important that you keep your spirit strong. I was having trouble meditating, things like this, but I pushed through. I kept praying. The music in my house was all Gregorian chant, so just blessing myself constantly with holy water, oil, things like this. reason I'm so angry right now is because these things I showed you are all well documented. It is well known that ivermectin works. If you can't get your hands on ivermectin, wormwood does the same thing. Wormwood is, like I said, used for thousands of years to treat malaria because it kills that protein that it needs to replicate. I'm so angry because people are dying from this for no reason. No reason. Nobody has to die from this. Okay, we're being told, go wait home until it takes over your body and then go to the hospital where they're going to put you on a ventilator, but by that point it's too late because the virus has replicated throughout your body. And then we're being told the other answer is the poison injection. No. How about no? How about I just healed myself with kitchen herbs? How about that? So that's what I wanted to get at today. This is probably, like I said, this video is probably going to be taken down for obvious reasons. I'm trying not to be angry because anger is bad for healing, but I'm so effing angry. I'm so angry. And I'm glad I got to witness this firsthand. I'm glad I got to see how the whole process goes down, and I'm glad the Lord was able to speak to me through the Holy Spirit to tell me how to heal myself. Okay, because the medical field is our enemy right now as far as I'm concerned. Our complete enemy. I will not be participating in traditional, conventional Western medicine as we know it anymore. I've lost all faith in the system. So it's a shame. It's a shame. On top of that, the hate mail that's coming in on my Facebook about me putting my kids at risk, me risking making my kids an orphan for not getting the injection, all this stuff really shows the level of diabolical influence that this world is under right now. And I pray for you people that are persecuting the unvaccinated. I pray for you because you need a lot of prayers. So, the other thing I also began taking daily is Collidal Silver, which is controversial. I'm okay with it in the short term. It's not something I would take long term, but it is known to boost the immune system as well. But like I said, a boosted, beefed up immune system is not going to help this initially. So we really need something that's going to disrupt the binding of the proteins, which is going to be the turmeric and the wormwood. And again, I'm going to post links below to studies and things like that, but do your own research. I'm just angry that the research is out there and it's being suppressed. And like, honestly, like, it's criminal. Like, what if I did nothing? This could have been a whole lot worse for me, and I'm a single mother. So every doctor that's going along with this, good luck, because you're going to have to answer to our Creator. Especially if you know and are too scared to speak out, especially if you know about ivermectin and things like that, and you're too scared to speak out. God help you.